I'm so happy. Okay. Good morning, guys. We not only share real estate tips here, we share hair and fashion tips, okay? Not sure that we're the people you should be listening to, but with that said, good morning, welcome. I can't believe that a week from today is September. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that we are already in September.
Me too.
And then we'll be in Labar Day, will be a week after. So we're a week and a half away from Labar Day. The famous Labar Day, of course. So thank you for joining. My thing doesn't work anymore. I swear we just changed batteries. We just changed batteries. Oh, wait. Oh, she's right. She's right. Okay, there we go. All right, so how to stop procrastinating. I thought this was appropriate since August is typically our slowest month of the year, right? For a few reasons. It's really hot during this time of the year. Those who have kids, you know, they're out of camp. You know, you're trying to occupy them. You only have a few weeks left before school starts. You have school shopping, you know. So there's quite a few reasons why this always becomes the slowest time of the year, right? Everybody's just trying to is looking forward to September when they can get back into some type of organized schedule again, right? They want to have a schedule, live by it for a while, right? Until next summer comes. So get clear why you want to do your tasks in your first place, your why. That's always huge, right? If you're doing anything, and it should be written down, because when you write things down, you absorb it more than you would if you're just thinking about it. Take a break every 25 minutes to keep your mind fresh. So they always say, if you're going to even do phone calls, prospecting, whatever it is, you should do 25-minute increments, take a break, and then go back to it, okay? Because when you try to do things for too long of a time, first of all, it overwhelms you, and so sometimes you don't even get to it because of that reason. And secondly, you want to keep fresh. 3, do the most difficult tasks first in the morning. You have the most willpower there. So make your calls early in the morning if that's what you hate doing, right? Go door hanging early in the morning if that's what you hate doing. Then this way, then you have the rest of the day to either receive phone calls back or just do the things that you enjoy doing in your business. Give yourself a reward for finishing, huge. So if you do certain tasks or you get a certain amount of appointments each week, then make sure that you have something, you're going to go get your nails done. You're going to go get ice cream. You're going to treat yourself to something special, a spa day, whatever it is. And then set a minimum, a target and an outrageous goal to keep you motivated. So it's okay if you set your goal higher than you want to and you achieve a little less, because at least you're achieving something versus achieving nothing. So again, just wanted to remind you of things that we need to start doing and focus on as we move into September, because all the signs are pointing to a very, very busy September. So I want everybody to be ready and prepared. So who looks like this at least once a day in real estate? Okay. Me at work at least once a day. Why am I doing this? Why, God, why? I ask him every day. He still hasn't answered me, but I know that every single one of you, because you say this to me when you call and you're having a bad day, why do I do this, right? It's like torture. But with all the bad, there's a lot of good in real estate, right? Helping people get to their next chapter in their life and giving them their family security. There's just so many great things, and that's why we do it every day. So have any of you guys, I know this was a open house recently. I know another agent of ours had open house this weekend, had 24, 25 people through. So we are still getting a lot of traffic in open houses, okay? You have to do some of that, marketing to get people there, and then if it's a good location, a good price, they're going to come for that as well. But I have a question for you guys. Have any of you heard of $5,000 guarantee? Have you heard of it? I'm just asking, just want to know, see if you're listening. Because our clients are really, really taking advantage of this. They love it. They love our Weichert value proposition. They love it. And I want to make sure that every single one of you are leveraging it. Our office is doing phenomenal at it. So good job, guys. But again, this is a nice phone call to make to people you haven't talked to. Have you heard of our $5,000 guarantee? It's as simple as that. Don't complicate it. Just ask people, let them know about it. If they're ready in the market, great. If they're not, then at least you've had a conversation with them and you've kept in touch with them. So there's no harm done. So I want to share with you something real quick. An article that just came out that I read. You know, we've been doing this for years, but Rocket Homes, right? So Rocket Homes, it used to be Rocket Mortgage, and now it's Rocket Homes. And the reason being is because they're trying to do the same value proposition that we've been doing for years. This is what our clients are looking for. The reason they're doing this is not to say, oh, let me copy and see what's going on because Weichert's doing it. No, they're saying, what are the clients looking for? What are buyers and sellers looking for? What experience do they want to have when they're looking for a home or they're selling their home? We have that experience. So don't let someone else take that over. You have to be strong in your conviction when it comes to this. So Rocket Homes is a one-stop shop for someone's entire real estate adventure, whether they're buying or selling a home. Okay, and this just came out this month. So while not directly eliminating the real estate agent, Rocket will be hiring in-house agents and connecting customers with local real estate professionals. However, Rocket will be reducing their commissions from the average 3% threshold to 1.5%, right? So this is something I just want you guys to know, okay? Because we don't want them to take over our experience. We don't want them to dilute our services or our value. So we really have to stay on top of making sure we control the transaction, control the situation, and that we are the ones who are in charge of our clients. We can no longer say, oh, you want to use so-and-so, okay, you do that. No, we have to take control because everybody else is doing it, and that's what the clients are looking for. So again, just wanted to share this. I will share this article link with you when I send the meeting slides out so you can look at it more. But we really want to make sure we're staying in control of our business, okay? Because it's our business. It's what pays our bills. It's what puts our food on our table. It's what pays our health benefits. It's what pays our mortgage and rent, right? So we have to be in control. So, but sometimes I feel like I have to remind everybody of that. So every sales associate should be productive. This is as simple as our business is. Ask everyone you speak to, have you heard about our $5,000 guarantee? It's something that sets you apart from the agent. Why do you think when a client calls up from an online lead or meet you at an open house, that why do you think they're not loyal? Is it their fault or is it our fault? So what I'm asking you is, when you get someone at an open house, hi, how are you? How did you get here today? How did you find us? Are you asking the same exact questions as every other Brand X real estate agent who's doing an open house that day? Are you doing something to set yourself apart? Are you making it more of an experience? Because if you're not, then that's why the average public is saying, oh, Carol is the same as Jessica, is the same as Stephanie, is the same as Eric, right? They don't know. And again, something that we have to really remember in life is that 90% of the public has a 9-to-5 mentality. So what does that mean? It means that they assume when you're sitting at an open house, when you're showing them a house, you're getting paid because they get paid. They don't know how our business is unless we share with them how our business is, right? So again, you have to put those two things into perspective and say, how am I standing out among every other real estate agent out there, right? I know you're frustrated with how a lot of real estate agents act, but are you doing something different so that you stand out? So this is something that you can ask someone when they're coming in your front door that's different than every other agent. And then you can then show them or share with them what we're offering. Okay, whether they take advantage of it or not, it's something that is really important for us to be able to differentiate ourselves from everybody else. That's why Jim Weichert did put this out there. It was to differentiate you from every other agent out there, okay? So this is the best real estate market in history, and everybody can make money, right? I remember when I started out in 2006. I started out in 2006, okay? That should be the end of that sentence, that I'm still here today. But I started out in 2006, my first transaction, I remember my mentor saying to a very prominent agent who's still in the business with Coldwell Banker, saying, isn't this wonderful? Missy's first transaction, it was a $780,000 transaction. It was a $780,000 sale. And the agent turned around and said, yes, it is. But there's enough business to go around, and there always has been. And it's the truth. There's enough business to go around. There always has been, and there always will. So just again, just some little reminders that I want to throw at you today. So leveraging with the Weichert value proposition, leverage is a noun, and it's the power to influence a person or situation to achieve a particular outcome. And the verb is to use something. Okay, so leverage as a noun and as a verb is the power to influence and to use something. Okay, so you have something here to differentiate yourself. So massive conversion from the power of leveraging the Weichert value proposition. Lead with what you believe and lead with conviction. When you leverage the Weichert value proposition, you can sell. When you know without wavering, unshakable confidence that your product or service can change the life of others. Believe. So ask everyone you speak to, have you heard about our $5,000 guarantee? If you don't understand leverage, you work too hard. So when I talk to agents who are doing a certain amount of business, and I say, okay, let's talk about how you're going to leverage yourself moving forward, right? That word leverage is because there's a point where you can only do so much. You only have 24 hours in a day. You only have 7 days a week, right? There's no more time that's given to any of us. That's something that we all have in common. So what you have to do then is you have to leverage yourself, meaning you have to then bring on an assistant, a buyer's agent, whatever it is that it's going to help you get out there and do maybe the listing section of it, and you're still able to capture the buyers. Whatever it is that's going to help you build your business is leverage, right? So everybody has to learn that at one point you're going to have to invest in yourself and leverage once you get to a certain point, because you can't go any further. You're going to be stuck. You can't go any further. So I'd rather have 1% of the effort of 100 men than 100% of my own effort. Okay. Now, obviously, J. Paul Getty was from a long time ago, so we can change that 100 men to 100 men / women to 100 people, right? But at the time, that was more appropriate. So, and that's exactly what leveraging yourself is. We have a team here, right? There's a whole team of us. Every single one of us in this office is part of our team. So whether we're a single agent or an individual agent or a team, we can say, I work out with a team, because we do. We are a team. You not only have myself, Silvana, and Stephanie on your team, but you have all the agents here, because everybody's always willing to help out. So leverage the Weichert value proposition for your business. So all under one roof, open houses. Let me move this little box. Oopsies, oopsies. The little box. But anyway, so these are the things that help us leverage our business, right? There's certain things we have to bring in so that we're able to leverage our business in the proper way. And I always share with you, the top agents in our office consistently do open houses. They don't get to a certain level and say, oh, I don't have to do open houses anymore. No, that's a way they consistently get business. So for them, they could not have a business that they do without consistently doing open houses. So we really have to get back into doing more of those open houses. So leveraging the We Do It All guarantee program, you want to put as little effort as you can in your business, right? Because there's so many things that we have to do. We're always juggling in our business, right? We have so many balls up in the air at one time. We want to be able to make sure that we can show that we have a value proposition to share with people and that we stand out from everybody else. So the result is less effort and more work and more business for you. So what is leverage the Weichert value proposition? When we are convinced we are selling a marvelous product, our demeanor, body language, voice inflection, facial expressions, everything communicates the prospect that we fervently believe we're offering something of value. People buy not because of their belief in the product, goods or services, because of the belief in the salesperson. So everybody here has sat with someone who they totally trust and like, whatever you say, right? I trust you wholeheartedly. I believe in what you say. If that's what you say is the best for me, we're willing to do it. And then you've sat with someone where the back of their hair on your neck has gone up and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to run out of this room, right? So it's the same exact thing. If you don't believe it, you can't, there's nothing you can do or say that's ever going to convince anybody else to believe what you're saying. You have to fervently, I gotta learn that word, believe exactly what you're trying to sell. Our feelings are transferable. Courage can be and frequently is transferred to the other person. The real estate consultant who completely believes the message he or she delivers will persuade the sales associate, the real estate consultant, by the very depth of their conviction. Oops. So again, it's all about what we believe and how we bring it forward. If we don't believe something, people know, people feel it. I always say, if you're on a listing presentation or at a buyer's consultation and someone asks you a question, the buyer or the seller, and you're not sure of the answer and you try to answer it, they know that when you know and you're confident about what you say, they're going to move on to the next thing, right? But if you're not confident, they're going to come at you like a pit bull, because that's how it is. They smell the fear. So leveraging our value proposition, customer experience and incentive program comes from the knowledge and a feeling that we are doing, selling, etc. is absolutely right. When we transfer that conviction to our buyers, prospects, and clients, they benefit from an exceptional and unique home buying and selling experience. So again, this is the We Do It All guarantee, what we're offering our clients. I know one of the agents, Kelly, had said a few weeks ago, she was at an open house, and she said more people that came through interested in this thing than there were the house that she was sitting at. So again, don't try to fool yourself and say, oh, nobody cares about that. They don't care. Try it out and see for sure before you make a determination. Stand out among the competition. Also lead generation, because now you can find ways to connect with people in different ways by prospecting, doing door hangers, all those things. You're in greater control because you're in control of the your transaction. And then how to engage potential buyers. Open houses, ask all attendees, have you heard about the $5,000 guarantee? Utilize our marketing collateral. Buyer's consultation, customize and add the PowerPoint flyer to your buyer's consultation. Insert it after I'll introduce you to my mortgage advisor page and print a flyer to provide to your buyers. My Weichert, utilize the template available in my Weichert. Landing pages are coming soon. Social media, utilize the template available in Weichert Design Center. And then branding on your email signature, on your outgoing voicemail scripts, and as virtual backgrounds, and then direct mail postcards. So they have a postcard that you can send out with this message on it. So this is the client registration form. So you can register your client, or you can have your clients go on and register themselves. They go on to weichert.com/we do it all. Okay, and then they just fill that in right there. It's asked who their sales associate is, so they know who to align that person with. Again, if you were to do this at an open house, think about this for a minute. You're at an open house, you're having a conversation with someone. Do you mind if I register you for this program? There's no obligation at all, but do you mind if I register you? You're registering them. You're putting them under your name. Now they go to Carol's open house next. You've already registered them. They're like, oh, Missy registered me at the last house, but thank you. I've now captured that buyer, right? So again, it's a way for you to capture more leads. And then this is where it asks the final, the rest of the question. So it's very quick, simple. Their full name, email, phone, state. Are you currently working with a Weichert sales associate? Yes or no. And the sales associate's full name, and select the location. So they also have an open house registration form. So obviously we have our welcome to our open house registration form. This is, yes, please register me for the We Do It All guarantee form. Okay. So we have that in our Weichert Design Center, or in our, I guess it's not in our Weichert Design Center, it's in our Weichert Tools. Yeah, in our marketing resources. So we can get that for you if you want that. Again, have them sign in there, and then you can register them yourself. So these are all the things that we have, the marketing materials, program flyers with QR codes. I have to tell you, I must use a QR code every day now for something. QR codes have become such a big thing now, with touchless everything, touchless menus, touchless registration. I mean, everything is QR codes now. The table tents, which we have here, you can take as many as you want. We have them out on the counter here in the kitchen. Lawn signs, we have those as well for you. You can just pick up a lawn sign. If we need to order more, we will absolutely do so. And then here's the customer registered. So congratulations, guys. As of Monday, we had 25 people registered, and these are all the other offices in our region. So we are, I mean, over double everybody else. So you're doing an amazing job. I just want to make sure that you're really taking advantage of what we have to offer. I just really want to make sure, because I think it's a great, I'm leading with conviction because I really believe that this is a great opportunity for all of you to set yourself apart. Yes, Carol.
If somebody registers at an open house and the one question was, are you working with a realtor? And they say no. When it goes in, then does Wyford then disperse those people?
I guess yes. Well, so that's a great question. So Carol asked if someone registered at an open house, but they were working with a Brand X agent. So they put, no, they weren't working with a Wyford agent. What happens with that lead, so to say? So as of right now, because it has happened where other Brand X agents called because their clients were at one of our open houses, and the agent there did a good job of sharing with them the $5,000 guarantee, and their client wanted to be part of the $5,000 guarantee, but wasn't working with the Wyford agent, and they're not opening it up to other brokerages now, and they don't have to apparently, because they would have done everything, right? So that's again something, maybe a part of the conversation. Oh, you're working with a Remax agent. I'm sorry, unfortunately, this is only for our Wyford clients, but I want to share it with you anyway. So again, it's another way of just sharing with people exactly what we have to offer that differentiates ourselves from their broker or their agent or whatever. So develop those convictions, make that commitment, and I'll see you at the top. Honestly, you'll have a great, great, great year. Because we are, again, there's so many agents in this business right now, right? What happens when we have a good market? Or we have a perceived good market, because it's so easy what we do every day, obviously. I mean, that's a given, right? Everybody comes in. And then what happens when the market goes down? Everybody gets out. And then only the tough and the top are standing. So again, make sure you're utilizing this to differentiate yourself every single day. So I want to welcome some new associates to our team. We have Eden Gasperman and Devin Shaw, who just joined us this past week. Remember, if you work with anybody that you think would be a good fit, please, please, please pass their name on. We'd love to have them join us as our team in an office. We have such a great environment here, a great culture. I want to share that and want to help other people grow. So please, please, please share that like you used to with Kim, our cute little Kim. Remember, everybody loves little Kim. So some office news that I wanted to go over. NCJR update. Has anybody been receiving Mary's emails? There's an NCJR newsletter that goes out once a month. So if you read it like I do, I don't know about you, but she's very angry. Okay, she's very, very, very angry. So again, I'm going to share it with you when I send out the meeting slides, but I just want to show you some of the things that she said. So highest and best, when does it end? Okay, so a great question, something that everybody, you guys should all have pinned up on in your workspace or somewhere where you can access it. Does highest and best have a deadline date? Only the seller can determine that. What happens if the highest and best time frame says by 5 p.m. on Friday and another offer comes in after 5 p.m.? As a listing agent, you are under the obligation to present all written offers to the seller unless directed otherwise. So meaning if your seller says, I don't want to see another offer, which I doubt they're going to say, but if they do, then you don't show it. And then that you would have in writing, and then you would share that with the other agent who presented it. Said, sorry, my seller's requesting, they don't want to see another offer, they're done. The New Jersey Rec, all written offers go to the seller at the seller's or the seller's representative, regardless of a deadline. It is up to the seller to decide to entertain that offer or not. Control is in the seller's hands. Buyer's agents should inform their buyers that highest and best isn't over until the seller says so. Okay, very interesting, right? So what does that say to me is if you get an offer, if you're the listing agent and you get an offer after 5 p.m., I always advise you guys to go right to the attorney. Send it to the attorney and the seller simultaneously. Let them talk about it, okay? That's probably the best way to move forward. Now, if you are the buyer's agent and you're sending it and they're saying, sorry, we accepted a highest and best, then you can ask for the attorney's information that's representing the seller. And they really should provide it to you. If they don't, there's a problem. Because I've been in an arbitration with that before, where an agent did not supply that information because they were on both sides. And they ended up getting fined and having to go back to ethics class for 4 hours, okay? So they should be providing it to you. If not, then get in touch with me and we'll make sure that you get that attorney's information. So highest and best isn't highest and best is what this article is saying, basically, right? So again, something that you should have, and maybe you go over it with your seller or your buyer. Access to listed properties for showings and inspections. Another big problem we've been having lately. Huge problem we've been having where sellers are saying, I don't want them to come in. I don't want them that day. I'm entertaining that day. I don't want, the contract specifically states that buyer can have 2 walkthroughs. Okay, remember a few years ago when we had to do it 7 days before and then blah, 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 and then somehow that fell off the face of the earth, whether it was because of laziness with agents or the fact that sellers were being difficult in getting them in. I don't remember why it went off, but it's still stated in the contract. So legally, they have to allow that buyer in twice if that buyer wants 2 walkthroughs, or minimally their 1 walkthrough has to be allowed in. So accessing a property on terms other than those established by the owner or the listing broker violates Article 3. Standard practice of our code of ethics as a buyer's agent, if it is your responsibility, and this is very important too, to stay with your buyer during showings and inspections the entire time they're in the listed property. Inspectors and buyers may not be left alone in a house, which again is happening more and more again. People are just saying, oh, I'm going to run out, or I got to run and do a showing, I'll be back. It's your responsibility. So if something happens in that house, you can't blame the inspector, you can't blame the buyer, you can only blame yourself. You're the one that's licensed that's going to be in trouble. Okay, so again, these are just reminders. I know most of you know exactly what to do and you work extremely ethically every day. So I'm not at all stating that anybody here is doing anything that I feel is unethical, but I know you work with other agents out there in the field that you do see doing things like this. And so these are just reminders of things we should and shouldn't be doing. So I just wanted to share that with you. Then secondly, if your sale falls through, you have to send the attorney letter to Silvana so she knows. So what I'm trying to tell you is Silvana does an amazing job, but her mental telepathy has gone down in the last few years. She used to be able to read my mind. I would be up at night going, oh my God, and I come in, she goes, oh, here, I did. I was like, what? How did she know, right? But she does not know when your deals fall apart. There's no little magic birdie that comes in and says, Silvana, Stephanie's deal fell apart last night. Make sure you reach out to her and get it. So you have to, in order for us to keep our files up to date, you have to share that information. And it's good for us because then she puts it in there. And for 7 years, we keep it for you. So you have all the paperwork that you need. So again, it's a reminder that we don't know. So you have to share that information with us. Okay, and then lastly, I think, who knows, we have a new buyer form. Okay, and everybody got an email about this. I know how everybody's so good about reading your email, so I thought I'd just give you a little a reminder here. So we have the New Jersey's Realtors has put together a form in regards to your buyers waiving their appraisal and their home inspection. Okay, this is not a mandatory form. Okay, but I would just suggest highly for you as a buyer's agent, if your client is going to be waiving these things, that you have them fill this out and sign it, okay, to cover your assets. So a new form, buyer's waiver of inspection and appraisal, has been added to all sales packages and forms online. Inspection and appraisal contingencies are used to protect home buyers in a transaction. New Jersey Realtors developed this form to protect brokers and salespersons against claims resulting from a buyer's decision to waive the inspection, appraisal, or other contingency or right. This includes any claim regarding any condition of the property that an inspection may have revealed, or regarding the value of the property that an appraisal may have provided. This form is not mandatory, but is recommended to be used should the buyer decide to waive any contingencies. Okay, so it's already in forms online for you guys. There it is. Make sure that you take a look at it, make sure you get familiar with it, and make sure that you're providing this to your buyers when they're waiving anything, so that they understand their rights and what they're giving up, okay? Because what happens when people get upset, even the best people, your best friends, they turn on you. We all know in this business, the emotional part of it has people turn on us. So we want to make sure we're protected at all times. Oh, so this was from my manager's or the golf outing last week, our manager's meeting. So top sales manager for profitability, which is top sales offices, right? Because it's you guys who really do a great job in doing the business out there. So John Burke was number 10 in Princeton. Bill Darby and LBI. LBI is kicking butt this year because, you know, everybody wants a second home. Janet Wilkins in Mountain Lakes. And there we are. Now, last month we were number 6 and Morristown was number 7, but I'll take it. So I'll take staying in the top 10 anytime. There's Morristown, Jennifer Love in Westfield, Andrew Melling in Sparta, Rob Sanchez in Jersey City downtown, and Aileen Consulman in Morristown. Aileen is always number 1. Always. That area, that whatever is always number 1. Now she has 2 offices now. She has Morristown and Haddonfield, and I think together they have like almost 180 agents all together.
That's the only office there that is not a huge value town.
Yes, yes. And I think they just had a Keller Williams come in. So like a lot of these offices too, you have to remember, like even Sparta, Keller Williams just moved in. They didn't have the competition we had, you know, and as far as, you know, our market area, we have tons of competition here, right? With other brokerages, you know, a lot of these places don't have that competition either. But one of the great things is just for you to see, out of 10 of the top profitable offices in the company, which I believe we're at 122 offices now company-wide, Joe McDonald has 5 of the managers. That's really impressive. He has half of the profitable offices in his region. So I thought that was very interesting to share. So anyway, congratulations, guys, and thank you for all your hard work and for a great year thus far. This year, we raised $100,000, which I think is humongous, because in the past, I think we're at $200,000 a year. And this year, between COVID and everything else going on, and them deciding to do it last minute almost, it was like a month and a half before when they made the decision to move forward with the fundraiser, we collected $100,000. So over 21 years, $1.7 million has been collected and donated to the American Cancer Society. So really, really awesome. And then today is our Records Founder Day picnic. Starts at 12 o'clock. It's going to be over around the corner from us by the cafeteria. Yes. So they're going to have games and food and fun. So please, I hope I'm going to see a lot of you guys there. We'll all be there. Everybody here will be there today. So always a good time. So this is my customer service announcement for today. What you should not be eating at our company picnic today. Hot dogs. I love myself a hot dog, I have to tell you. After we just had a hot dog truck, right? Studies suggest eating a hot dog can take 36 minutes off your life. 36 minutes. It's actually from 6, that's why I left 6 ABC Action News. Huh? Oh, listen, I'm in Wildwood Crest. I'm in Philly country. So I watch Philly news on the weekends when I'm down there. There's no New York. Once you pass LBI, there's no New York. It's all Philly. So 6 ABC News is Philly. So so anyway, yep. So maybe you have your last one today. I don't know. For good riddance. Okay, we're saying it can't possibly be true with the amount of hot dogs we ate as kids. Yeah. I just thought that was funny because it actually just came up on Instagram yesterday. I was like, oh, I have to share this. So Stephanie.
So I sent out the corporate newsletter last Thursday. So I'm going to be sending this out probably the last week of the month. Moving forward, let me know if you didn't receive it, or you can just look at it. I put it on my website. I put a newsletter section on my website. So all the newsletters I've shared and now our new corporate newsletter will be there. So feel free to reach out to me if you didn't get it or whatever. So I just wanted to show you a new feature that came up in my Wiker that I just learned about. So a lot of people use hashtags, and over the last 2 years, I'm sure you've gained a lot of hashtags, and maybe you want to retire a couple of them, or you want to combine them, or you have too many in there to choose from. Now they have a hashtag management tile in marketing, in the marketing section of my Wiker. What you can do in there is you can delete hashtags. So this is mine. So you can just do, if you wanted to, so if you have like 2 people in one hashtag and you want to just not have it in there, you can actually delete. You can delete in mass if you want to delete a bunch of them, or if you have something similar, like you have Randolph 1, Randolph 2. If you have something like that, you can combine them all into one. You're not actually deleting the contacts, you're just deleting the actual physical hashtag. So I think this is huge because a lot of people have asked me about this in the past, and you can merge them together if there's a couple that are similar, which is nice to have. What you can also do, which is cool, is that you can actually mass email, mass text from this hashtag manager. So this way you can actually see all of your people that are, this is just another place to see, you can see it in your CRM also, but they added this feature in where you can kind of, click on one of the hashtags, you can see all of your contacts that have that hashtag assigned to them, and you can actually, go in there and delete the hashtag from the post if it's not the right hashtag, or you can email or text them all at once. It's just a really nice feature, especially if you're using the hashtags a lot.
We can hashtag together?
As long as you have their permission.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, you always were able to, but you need to have that permission in advance. So if they come to your open house, if it's a buyer that you're working with, if it's a seller that you're working with, or you've spoken to them before and you've gotten that permission, sure. Yeah, you can still mass text. That never went away. Just need that communication beforehand.
Okay.
So I just wanted to share this. I sent it out the other day. Tabitha was nice enough to share this with Missy, who then shared it with Carlo's assistant, who got this out. I just wanted to show it again. It was a great, wonderful thing that Tabitha did. Tabitha and I work a lot together. She and I, work very well together, and she's finding a lot of value in me, and I appreciated her so much for doing this, because I think that a lot of people don't know me and a lot of people don't know what I do. And she was nice enough to share this with Missy, and I just wanted to show everybody that, she works with me and it is working for her. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of her. She's killing it in so many ways. She is taking advantage of everything that Wiker has to offer. She, is taking on buyers, she's taking on sellers, she's taking on renters even. She's embracing the Wiker Lead Network, as we've seen. She hosted an open house 2 weeks ago in Chester, and she had quite a few buyers through. But what happened was one of the buyers and her, hit it off really well as a couple, and she exchanged phone numbers with them and whatnot. And she actually wound up taking them to another home the same evening of the open house, which I'm sure a lot of people who do open houses, you're tired at the end of the day, but she was willing to just, I'm not going to rest. I'm just going to keep going. And she actually sold them a house that day. So it wasn't the house that she said the open house, but at least, she was able. So the open houses do work. We're having a tough time, getting these open houses hosted by, people. It really does work. I hope that you start, taking, especially newer agents that are trying to get out there. So I think that, it's just a good example. If you need any help, feel free to reach out to me. Don't be scared. I'm here in the office. I'm out next week working from home, but I'm usually in the office 9 to 5, and I'll work with you whatever on your schedule. So I'm here for you. That's all I have. Yep. Thank you, guys. Does anybody have any questions for me at this point on Zoom or here? Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I'm just going to check my chat box real quick. Okay. So yes, my Wiker, a great tool, a great advantage for you guys to have to get to where you want to go. And having Stephanie being able to sit with you one-on-one, whether it's in person or virtual, once a week, every 2 weeks, is really, really to be part of your business plan ongoing. to really and capture what My Waker can do for you. As Tabitha said, she's probably going to kill me for sharing this, but I'm going to do it. As Tabitha said one morning, she was so excited. She was, oh my God, it actually works while I'm sleeping. It actually works while I'm sleeping. She says, I'm doing business while I sleep. I woke up this morning and I got a text from one of my clients that I haven't heard from. So if you're not taking advantage of it, then you can make excuses or you can make time to invest in it. That's up to you. It's either an excuse or a time to invest. That you guys have to make up on your own. So anyway, thank you, Stephanie and Anthony. So this was from my meeting last week as well. I wanted to throw this in, the top 10 mortgage advisors as of 7/31. Yes. Oh, I thought someone was talking to me, sorry. So number 10 is Burke, Virginia, Homedale, New Jersey, Rockland County, New York, Marlboro, New Jersey. I actually sat with her last week. She was very sweet. And there we are, Anthony Rosamalia, number 6. So congratulations to Anthony. And again, congratulations to our office. We're doing an amazing job. So again, see, Morristown's number 4. We want to switch everything, okay? We're very competitive here for our immediate area, right? We care about our immediate area and who we can overcome.
No
So-
surprise that a lot of the same offices are now both of those.
Well, so just so you have an idea, that means that there's 2 mortgage advisors in that office. The offices are so big, they have multiple mortgage
No, I'm
advisors.
saying the top 10 managers.
Oh, yes.
So
Good point, Eric Stratman. Yes. And even Morristown and Cherry, no,
Unless you're Mountain Lakes or Sparta or.
nope, that's it. See, Carol knows what I'm talking about. We look for 3 offices, people. Morristown, Westfield, Mountain Lakes,
Sparta.
and us, right? Those are the 4 that are always in competition. So
look for them in our rear view mirror.
yes, look for them in our rear view mirror, as Eric Troutman said. I love it.
We don't care about this other.
We don't care about anybody else, right? Yes.
Only the ones that can take this into it.
Yeah. Yep. We have to have that competitive spirit for sure. I'll never forget, Joe McDonald says to me every day now when I talk to him or when Silvana comes up, he goes, I never knew she was so competitive. I never saw that in her. I never knew she was so competitive. And then when he realized it last year, when we were, the month of July, when we did 119 units, me and Silvana were out, it was like a Friday, of course, the last day of the month. And me and Silvana, like until 9 o'clock at night, we were calling managers on vacation saying, you need to put a deal in. One of our agents on the other side, like we were like crazy people. But we did it. So that's when he always says, wow, I never knew that. I never knew how competitive Silvana was. So she's competitive too. So again, if you don't want to do it for me, you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for Silvana. That's what I say.
Well, where's the top 10?
Oh, she's number 1. No, there's not top 10. There's no slide. Number 1 is Silvana, and they all know it. Yes. There would be nobody else. There would be nobody else. No. And that's for sure. They all know that too. So anyway, Anthony, are you,
Good morning.
there you are, because I can't see anybody, so.
But thank you again for the accolades on that. That's a big testament of the office and what everybody's doing here. So I definitely appreciate it. And like you said, the top 1, 2, they share a big office, or 2 actually. So they need 2 loan officers there. And then the 4, 5 is also the big offices down in the Cherry Hill, Morristown locations too as well. So they have 2 locations there. So great job, everybody. I really appreciate the support.
Thank you. And we appreciate you.
Oh, thanks.
And give me a second. Because now, okay, there we go.
Okay, so we got a market update this week. The economic reports were generally weaker than predicted. Retail sales fell more than expected, and housing starts were lower than forecasted as well. The industrial production was a bright spot with strong gains for the month. The weaker economic reports eased pressure on interest rates as they eased down from the rise experienced after the strong jobs report and the inflation data. This week will be a busy from a data standpoint. The features are existing and new home sales, orders for durable goods, personal income and spending, as well as a revision of the second quarter's economic growth numbers. So we've been talking about this a lot. We're seeing this more and more. You're seeing this in the the really good market property areas, the good borrowers with down payments of typically around 20% or less and good qualifications. We're getting appraisal waivers, and many are asking, going, is that because you're saying they don't need an appraisal? It's not our determination or a lender's determination. It's Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. So when we run a loan application on a client and it triggers an address, specific location, and a specific price, we get the advisement whether or not we need an appraisal. And what that does is it allows the buyer to be stronger rather than them putting their own neck out on the line and waiving an appraisal. We're telling them we're not going to request one. So that allows them to go into an offer saying we do not need an appraisal for this transaction, or we're going to waive this appraisal, versus we don't get an appraisal waiver and the buyer wants to waive the appraisal, on that end, the contingency rather. And then at that point, if it does underappraise, they're on the hook for the difference. The good thing with actually an appraisal waiver from us, the lender, is that we'll never need an appraisal based on that price. So it definitely has its advantages. Sometimes I'm able to check specifically each transaction that someone's considering putting an offer on. So definitely just keep me abreast on that. If we're in a multiple bid situation, we're fighting on the deal on appraisal waivers. Now, some buyers out there don't want to utilize an appraisal waiver. They feel that they really want to know the fair market value of the house, that they're 20 or 30 or 50,000 over on an offer, and maybe they don't want to waive the appraisal contingency, right? And they want to be able to have the option to renegotiate. I had a borrower recently on a 30% down deal. I got a waiver, which I thought was great. And he goes, no, I want to get the appraisal done. I really want to make sure what I'm buying for is what I'm buying for. So, I mean, it could also backfire on him too as well, so it's kind of like a bird in the hand, I recommend taking it, especially if you're agreeing to go to a contract and pay a certain price for a property. But some people do want to know what the true fair market value of the property is. So, we're getting them a lot, typically with 20% down. Missy, you can go to the next screen there. We don't get them on government loans, USDA, VA, FHA, they don't allow it. It's only the Fannie Freddie stuff, typically non-jumbo too as well. But everything conventional and high balance loans, we're seeing them a lot on. I'm seeing them a lot in our immediate market, Parsippany, Randolph, especially a lot in Randolph, crazy enough, Morristown, Morris Township, the Hanovers, right in our immediate footprint, those strong, crazy markets that we have, borrowers putting 20, 25, 30% down. I get them all the time. I'm getting them in the West Orange market too as well, because that's another super hot market too in the Essex County area. So those type of deals are great, and it just allows the buyer to be more aggressive on the front end, and rather than them sticking their own neck out and picking up the tab if a deal falls through as far as an appraisal, they're able to go in confidently from our standpoint saying, I got a waiver. And I had one accepted over a weekend for that. And the selling agent called me and was like, are you sure this is good? And I'm like, yeah, I got a waiver on the deal, which is great. So the buyer was able to waive the appraisal contingency, which was awesome. And this is just more kind of like, everything I was just talking about waivers in general. And if anybody has any questions specifically about one, let me know. If you're fighting on a deal, let me know also too as well. I could determine, see if we can get a waiver on it. But typically any of the 3 to 5 to 10 to 15% deals, we're not going to get them on it. It's really those 20 or more down payment deals where we're seeing the waivers on. And we could lose it as fast as we got it too. Sorry to kind of cut you off there, Missy. We can lose it as fast as we got it. And what I mean by that is, let's say we have a $650 purchase price, and then in negotiations, we went to $665 or something like that. I could lose it too as well. So I always have to be in the know if there's changes to an offer, because we may have it and we may lose it depending on the price. So it's completely driven off of specifics that way.
So actually, Anthony, I'm going to ask you about, unless anyone has any questions in regards to appraisal waiver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask Anthony something that I asked him the other day. And I think this is something, I knew the gist of it, but I didn't really understand it well. And I think this is something that you guys should probably understand more yourself. So what's the difference between a PUD and a condominium or a townhome development? So Anthony explained it to me extremely well. I actually live in a PUD. So, never thinking of it that way. So, anyway.
Do you want me
can
to,
you
explain it? Like, yeah, sure.
Yes.
So a lot of people always kind of bring up like, hey, what type of, it's not a condo, it's a townhouse, right? Well, a townhouse is more of a description of a property or like a view of what a property looks like, a lot of,
style. Yeah.
sorry. So yeah, it's a style of property, right? So you can't just assume that if a property is marketed or it says townhomes on the listing, that it is a townhome. It affects also pricing of mortgages too, as well, as condos come with a higher interest rate. I tell this to all our buyers when they're looking at condos and townhouses. And the reason why that is based on risk. And a lot of people say, well, what's the difference? They're both in an association. What's the risk difference? Well, when you're buying a condominium, obviously, as many of us know, you have to get a condo questionnaire. Not every buyer is eligible to buy in that association. Depending on how the association is currently managed, the property itself, there's a condo questionnaire that has to be done. If a property has a lot of investor concentration, it becomes, a non-warrantable property, meaning that not everybody could buy there. FHA may not be approved in that condo complex. So with that being said, it's a higher risk for the investor, i.e. the bank lender, because if they ever absorb this property or foreclosed on it, they can't market this to everybody out there. There might be a small piece of like conventional buyers only or non-warrantable buyers only that could, purchase a property, purchase in that development. Now you fast forward to a PUD. PUD is planned urban development. Different set of guidelines, different set of rules. We don't nearly need as much documentation when a buyer is buying in a PUD. So when I do an application for a client, the first thing I'm doing is that's why I always ask many of you, can you get me the name of the association? Can you get me the contact information to the property manager? Some of these things I can get off a listing specifically. Sometimes the listing's not correct. Sometimes it's not accurate. So I need the current information, because the first thing I do is I call the property manager and go, what's the legal description of the property? It might say 123 Main Street, a condominium, or it might say 123 Main Street, a planned urban development or PUD. Those are two totally different worlds, and it has a lot to do with what rights you have as a unit owner or a buyer, right? A lot of times you see, as you're all very versed in this, you buy a condo, typically you're only owning and insuring what you see when you shut that door behind you. You're looking around your room and you could see your four walls, indirectly, and that's typically what you own. Many times with a PUD, or, a lot of people use the word townhome, but on a PUD, you might have, a certain footprint of a foundation off the back of the house where you might have a barbecue or something. You may have ownership rights in the front of the property too as well, or maybe some kind of decking and stuff. With that too as well, you have to check with your bylaws as far as a unit owner, what you own and what you don't own. Because sometimes most of the condos, like I said, you're only managing to what you could see inside the condo, and everything else in a lot of cases is community owned. Where in a PUD, you may have ownership rights and responsibilities to the project. And sometimes you see these associations on the PUDs, sometimes are cheaper than they are in condos for that reason, because the condo is absorbing everything. Where on a PUD, a lot of times you see the fees are actually a little bit less, and they have less ownership as an association, but more transferred risk to the actual buyers. So PUD and condo are a little bit different. When you see all those listings, it shows condo, townhouse, and co-op. You got to kind of determine that and work that out. But more importantly with this is like the FHA concerns, right? Not every community is FHA approved. And
See what happens when you're in Long Valley? So I'm sure if he froze, we're frozen to him. So we'll wait for him to get back on. Everybody else still out there? Okay,
Yes.
well, thank you. Thank you, Kelly.
All right, go to the next slide so we can see the question.
Yes, okay, Dennis, I know, that's what you waited for. Dennis comes on at 5 to 11 every day, knowing that's when we put on our. Anyway, only kidding, Dennis, we love you here. So anyway, get ready, guys. I'm gonna share with you the question. Everybody here has their paper and pens, and you guys remember to share your answers in our chat box. Okay, so according to the Census Bureau, approximately what percentage of homes are owned free and clear in America? A, 75%, B, 40%, C, 30%, and D, 25%. Many of these homes are owned by baby boomers and will be on the market in the next 10 years. Now, I shared this with you guys in a slide I did in one of my updates. Sylvana's confirming that. So you should all know this answer if you pay attention to me. No, a while ago. It was a few months ago. Yeah. No,
Final
but I
answer,
did
B.
share it in a slide. What's your answer, Dennis? What's your final answer, Dennis?
Final answer is B.
Okay.
I said B2.
Dennis, that's a very promising for you, okay? That Lonnie has confirmed that is very promising for you. Just. Eric said that's very promising for us all.
And
And okay, guys, everybody's done. The answer is, Dennis, tell them the answer, buddy.
B. B.
Yay! 40%.
Way to go, Dennis.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Dennis?
No, listen to CNBC. They probably.
Yeah, on my slides a few months ago that I put out, I remember sharing that, and that's one of the reasons, again, I think it was part of why we're not going to be in a bubble, is because so many people have more equity in their home these years and so many people are already free and clear. So, but again, many of these homes are owned by baby boomers and will be on the market in the next 10 years, right? So good to know. So those are the people we have to watch out for in the coming years. Or we should be staying in touch with or following up with. So let me get rid of my little box here again. Okay, we'll be over. So our absorption rate for this week, remember last week how those 30-day under contract numbers went up drastically? Well, they stayed pretty much consistent, so I didn't have to do a side-by-side comparison of that because they really didn't change that much this year, this week. So they still are up dramatically. But as you can see also, most of the, Morris Plains has a few more listings on this week than it has. Parsippany is going up, about to hit 100 soon. And I think we're going to see those numbers go up a lot higher in September. September is when we're going to see all these numbers grow. So it's good to have a comparison. Hanover's about the same. East Hanover went down drastically as far as the amount of homes that are active. So they have 11 homes active and 17 under contract in the past 30 days. So again, the months of absorption are still extremely low. Nothing's changed there. Denville has gone up a little bit. Randolph has gone up a little bit. Morris Township has stayed about the same, and Wooten Town went up just a slight bit. So great numbers. Everything's under 2.5 months absorption. Something to share with your clients. When you talk to people, I was talking to someone this weekend and they said, you know what, I'm going to put my place on in September. So I can get the most money for it. And then I'm going to wait a year or two to buy something when the house prices go down. And I said, why do you think the house prices are going down in a year or two? I'm curious just to know, And they said, well, of course they have to go down with the amount. And I said, this is going to be the best time to buy. So if you're going to sell now, you need to buy now. Don't wait. You're not going to, we're not in a bubble, and we're not going to see a drastic reduction in the amount of prices that we're seeing right now. We're not going to see it. So, but that's the perception of some people, right? So anyway, just like to share these. So our new listings on the market. Deb and Lonnie, do you want to talk about 7 Pigeon Hill Road in Parsippany, which is exclusive?
I do. So it's an exclusive. It's in Powder Mill. It's a Center Hall Colonial. It's on right now for $650,000, but that price might go up because he's doing a lot of work in the house and he's going to want to get more money for it. But for right now, the price is $650,000. It's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, stainless steel appliances, granite counters, marble in the center hall, and finished basement. It's a nice house.
It looks very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dennis, I know this one was exclusive and then came on live last week. This is the home I was talking about that received 25 people for the open house this weekend. So,
Can I interrupt 1 second?
of course,
So Dennis was kind enough to let Debbie and I sit 7 Gunston Sunday in the storm. We had 24 groups of people through. I have never seen anything like it. And people were, and they came with their families. It was a mob scene. And thank God there was 2 of us to be able to handle it.
and it was a horrible, horrible day, right? Where people would say, if they didn't get anyone to the open house, would say, oh, it's because of the weather, why no one came out. Meanwhile, here, there was 24 people who came out to your open house in this. in
And
the horrible
everybody, and I have to say, everybody loved that house, everybody. Dennis, do you have any offers yet?
I'm working on one right now,
Okay,
but it's not, we haven't I haven't even sent it to the seller yet. I just got it this morning. So we'll see.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyone else have anything new, price improvements in search of, any new rentals on the market?
I have a
Dennis,
price improvement.
Okay,
So we have this 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo in Belleville at 731 Belleville Avenue. It was on for $225 and we reduced it to $215. It's got hardwood floors. It's got the large storage room in the basement, private, which has the washer and dryer. It's a nice unit. So it's $215.
great. Anyone else have anything new or that they want to announce?
Looking,
Sorry.
I'm looking for somebody who's interested in maybe doing an open house at 18 Sunrise Drive in Morris Plains. New listing, did the open house on Sunday through the rain. We did not do as well as Lanny, but we had 5. And I'd love to have it covered. I'll be doing a open house at another listing.
So open house in Morris Plains, always a great place to sit in open house. If anybody's interested, let us know, please. Open houses are the way to go. I'm telling you, to build your business.
I have 2 more listings coming out. One's in. Sorry.
Fantastic, the listing king, please tell us.
I have one in Parsippany, a 4-bedroom, 1.5 bath in Lake Hiawatha, priced at $499. That's coming out next week. And I have one at Richard Mine Road, exclusive, 2nd floor with the basement, priced at $195.
Great, great.
I think that road is Dotwani Drive.
Yeah. Thank you,
Hopefully.
John. Thank you. I was trying to think of something, but you came up with something better. Anybody else? Okay, so hopefully we will see you guys today at the barbecue. It would be awesome to see everybody there. It's outside, so, everybody can feel safe and wear your mask if you want. I didn't realize, did anybody realize that my office, where it's located, directly on the opposite side of the building is Jim Weikert's office?
Yeah.
Oh,
About-
the smart people here knew that. I did not. I never thought past where my office goes or anything more than that. So anyway,
You're about 130 foot.
I'm 130 feet from Jim at any given time. What do you think about that?
Use that in your listing presentation.
Yeah, so now I might just go and knock on his window or peek in, see if he's here every day, like I am. I don't know. I'm gonna somehow use this to my advantage. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. Remember, next week is September 1st, and then we'll be heading into Labar Day. We'll probably take a break the week of Labor Day week, just because I know everybody will be getting situated, and then we'll have a big kickoff the following week, which will be 15th, September 15th. I'm hoping to have a big kickoff here to get everybody back on action and back on track and getting motivated and moving again, okay? If you need anything, feel free to reach out to me, and I hope to see you guys soon. Come into the office, come see us. We miss you, please.